Party line. We have a Borneo landline advising their party is likely going to 44. They have a possible ID of loss of Russ, first of Daniel, middle of Alberto, 723 at 76. They're inquiring if we have confirmed an ID and if we have any contact info for the family.
It was just like any other night that night. He was sitting back kicking and sipping some Bud Lights. Stressed out from the week, just trying to unwind. Only God knows why he decided to drive to the liquor store. But he done it before, just a couple blocks north, and he left all four. But this time he made the turn and he failed to stop and nailed the grandpa using the crosswalk. He slammed on the brakes, stunned and started to shake. He opened his door, blood stains splattered the paint. The man was in pain, he looked him right in the face. But it was too late, he was slipping away. In that moment of silence, when he closed his eyelids, was cut short by the sharp sound of the sirens. How could this happen? Lights flashing around him, squeezing the man's head. That's how they found him. Too late yet, you better get the message before you end up dead. Are you ready for heaven? All you gotta do is put the keys down. I can hear him scream now, put the damn keys down. Too late yet, you better get the message before you end up dead. Are you ready for heaven? All you gotta do is put the keys down. I can hear him scream now, put the damn keys down. Grandpa, Grandma, Joe and Atlanta, Mom, Dad, and Chad all packed the van up and hit the open road. They were headed for the cabin. Little did they know that would never happen. Jason and Stacy were drunk out their faces, headed in the opposite way on Highway 6, smoking reefer, sipping cans of brewski, swerving, speeding, and acting goofy. Jay dropped his joint on the floor and looked down, swerved out and hit the family's van. He came to in a hospital bed with police all around and his rights were read. Jason was arrested, the only survivor. The rest died from impact, wreckage, and fire. 8 lives lost from a stupid decision. Guilt-ridden Jay now lives in a prison. Too late yet, you better get the message before you end up dead. Are you ready for heaven? All you gotta do is put the keys down. I can hear him scream now, put the damn keys down. Too late yet, you better get the message before you end up dead. Are you ready for heaven? All you gotta do is put the keys down. I can hear him scream now, put the damn keys down.
All right, what's up, everyone? So this is part 2. And so you hear on the beginning of the song is the actual reenactment of my 911 dispatch call. It says patient is likely to 44. Now that's CHP code for the hospital responding back saying that I was gonna die. And that's what that means. That's a code for patient's gonna decease, get ready to call the coroner. So there's no faith for me living. Now I'm gonna speak a little bit from the first responders side to what my family's told me, to what I remember, to what my surgeons told me, which I still have some of the same surgeons. Now, the morning of my incident, of course, you know, after I got hit by a DUI driver, I was on my way to work, got hit by a DUI driver. I just happened to, the little parts I remember of the morning, if you go back. But anyways, the little parts that I remember of that morning, I remember being in the ambulance before. I remember feeling my lady's hands on my chest, her telling me it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. Let them do your job. Well, now you know I get a lot of PTSD about that morning. And now that I think about it, that's probably one of the times that they had to revive me. I passed away. I stopped breathing 3 times that morning. I actually passed away 3 times that morning. And they revived me. So moving forward from there, I was in a, from what my family tells me, when they see me, I was completely swollen. I was all black, real dark purple. My eyeballs were sticking out of my head like golf balls. I had blood coming out of my eyes. I had blood coming out of my ears, my nose, my mouth. And then from, like my surgeons tell me, because they had a sheet over me, so they didn't see my bones sticking out of my whole left side of my body. I had my shoulder. My surgeon says that when he did the emergency surgery, it looked like cobwebs. My shoulder looked like cobwebs. It was the worst that he's ever seen. My bone in my forearm was sticking out of my forearm. my femur was sticking out of my leg. The femur is the hardest bone in your body. It's like concrete. That it's almost it's not impossible, but it's almost impossible to break. My foot was degloved, which they had to amputate it, and that's just from my. I remember waking up, and when I woke up, I literally woke up to hearing the brain doctor. So I had a brain bleed in a part of my brain that was non-surgical. To this day, my brain's swollen this, and unfortunately, this person that was driving can still. So if something was to happen to me, if I was to fall, hit my head, or if I was to have a seizure, and my death was caused because of the incident, because I never had seizures before, this person would still be charged for vehicular manslaughter on top of whatever this person was charged for before. It'll be a whole separate charge, but it's just. So I literally woke up to hearing the doctor telling my wife, pull the plug. He's not going to live. He has no chance of living. You just seen all the tests I just ran on him. He has no chance. And come to find out, it wasn't the first time the doctor told my family this. During the whole time I was in the coma, the brain surgeon kept telling the doctor to pull the plug on me. My family, kept telling my family to pull the plug on me. And then after I woke up, and I proved his ass wrong, after I woke up, they kind of flipped out and was wigging out, lay him back down, put him, pretty much put me to sleep. And I remember waking up again. I literally, again, I heard the same doctor, the same surgeon, same thing. My kids were crying, my lady was crying, telling my family that with all my brain damage that I endured, I have I want to say, if I remember correctly, a 95 to 98% chance of not having no brain memory. That I wasn't gonna remember my lady, let alone my own kids. I wasn't gonna remember my wife, let alone my own kids. So again, I proved him wrong, but it did leave me blind. It did leave me an amputee, and I'm literally just scamming through this process fast, to make this video. I endured a lot, and luckily I didn't feel the pain because I was in a coma. I literally took a total of 32 pints of blood to stabilize me for emergency surgery. And literally it took 52 pints of blood to save my life. Now, I'm not exaggerating this. This is on my medical paperwork. And this was told to me by several different surgeons. I heard this in court. And, it's just, plus, just so much happened to me during my incident. And it's all caused by a driver that was driving under the influence. Happened at 4:52. The actual incident, the 911 call happened at 4:52 a.m. on a Tuesday morning, September 18th, 2018. I was literally just on my way to work. I was on my way to work. I was going to have a good day. It happened to be one of my favorite routes, because I was a truck driver. It happened to be one of my favorite routes. I was happy. I was going to make some good money that day. I was going to get home early enough to surprise my kids, pick them up, and take them to go eat and, just enjoy my day. Barbecue, probably go to trail that day. And, unfortunately, I never made it home. Unfortunately, my kids had to be picked up from school. And the whole time, all they heard was the doctors kept telling them that I was going to die, to pull the plug on me. I had no chance. So there's a lot of PTSD that happens now, but I'm just scanning through this real fast. I'm making a quick little video. I'll be making more video as my channel grows, and probably be posting some more of my videos. And, this channel is about raising awareness of driving under influence. I'm literally passionate about not having this happen to other families. So, and literally this is just a brief little of what happened during the time I was in the hospital to the time I got out. I went to rehab. When I was in rehab, unfortunately, a lot of the doctors mistreated me. Literally, they put my lunch by the door when knowing I couldn't get up. I couldn't get up and go grab my lunch. I couldn't get up. I couldn't see, let alone being with no leg. And there was a lot of mishap going on there. And first, responders. I guess my incident was one of the things that actually stuck with them. So it just doesn't affect the people involved. It affects the whole family. And my wife, my kids, they gone through so much trauma. They went through the mental trauma, the mental scarring. I went through all the physical trauma, all the physical uh, rehabs, and fighting for my life. I literally was fighting for my life. And as a matter of fact, the morning of, I do remember when I got hit. I remember, shit, I'm in a bad accident. If it's my time to go, God, please forgive me for my sins. Let me go to heaven. God, forgive my family for their sins. And then at that time, I remember saying, no, you know what? Forget that. I'm going to live. I got to go help the people in the other car. I got to go save their lives. And that's when, that whole thing came about. But so with that said, you guys, do me a favor and please save a life, save a family's life, save your own life. Be precautious of your decisions, or I don't know if that's the right word or not, but make sure you make the right decisions. And right now I'm just so speechless at the moment. I'm not even sure the words I'm trying to look for, but pretty much what I'm trying to say is be more make the right decisions. Plain and simple. Just make the right decisions, and don't drive under the influence, because it can ruin lives. It can cause deaths. It can kill families. It'll affect families after families after families, even your own. So make the right decisions. Don't drink or drive. And remember, I didn't come home that day. Luckily, I told my wife and my daughter. My other kids were sleeping that morning. I did tell them I loved them before I left, and they told me they loved me. And literally, medically, I wasn't supposed to come home. But by the grace of God, by the grace of the good Lord, I did come home months later. So make sure, when I say this after every video, I always say this because I absolutely mean this. Make sure you tell your loved ones you love them before you leave your house, because you're not guaranteed to make it home. Be blessing. Stay blessed. I'm out.
4841, we have Memorial landline advising their party is likely going to 44. They have a possible ID of loss of rust for Manuel, middle of Alberto, 723 at 76.
Please, order Garcia, book, and ID.
So for Harvey Loss of Garcia was booked for DUI 98.